because they were the ones that fought alongside the Kemet soldiers to defeat and take over Kemet Empire. So the Benin Empire is not just an empire that you just talk rubbish about. They were existing alongside Kemet down to the 12th CE. They've existed even before the 21st dynasty when the Black Pharaohs were ruling. So when the Black Pharaohs were ruling, look at what happened. Majority of the Benin chiefs migrated back to Kush. So they were sending their people down to oversee what is happening. The kings and rulers of the Benin Empire were anointed and established by the pharaohs of the Kemet. It was when greed started creeping into Africa, when the Portuguese knew that they can no longer enter through Kemet and enter through the Mediterranean, through Kemet and Kush to invade and take over Africa. They started coming through the rivers and they ambushed us through Benin Empire, because a white man who came and encountered the Benin wrote a message back to the queen. I have encountered an empire we have never seen, because the Benin Empire was purposely established as a fortress, as a fallback when Kemet lose the war, when Kush lose the war. So the San people who were barbaric, yes, I'm sorry San people, please, I use the word barbaric because even till this day the San people, which they call them the Bush tribe, have refused to embrace civilization of the white, because the mentality was transferred orally to them that the barbarians, which are the Greek, yes, they were barbarians, the Scandinavians, they were barbarians, the Europeans, they were barbarians. It made them understood that they were coming to corrupt their what practices. And I will vividly tell you that the Igbo tribes, which have their origin down to Kemet, did not come directly from Kemet. Neither did they come from Benin, neither did they come from Kush. Rather, they came from the faction that excluded themselves from the Kemet and the Kush and formed the San people. So Igbo people, if you want to know where you actually came from, you migrated directly from the southern part of Africa and established and meet up in the western part of Africa. You came from the San people. Look at the image, how the San people look like. They look the same. The San people and the Igbo people, they look the same, because the San were not accepting outward civilization. They were unable to build any form of artifact. They were unable to develop art of writing. They couldn't build pyramids. They couldn't build architecture. They couldn't make bronze. They couldn't make pots. So they were into hunting to survive, building huts for themselves. This was the same civilization. This was the same spirituality that came from the San that established the Igbo. You ask yourself, the Igbos and the San, they call them the Bush tribe, they call them the forest rulers, but the Kush and the Kemet, they were the desert, they were the sand rulers. So how do you explain that when the Kush came and found a settlement with red sand and thick clay, this is blessed by the gods of Africa, of Kemet, of Kush, for us to settle here? Can't find such in the Igbo land. The Igbo land migrated from the San people.